After a long gap between the second and the third test, finally a big sigh of relief. We are nearing test match number 3 at the new stadium in Rajkot. Whether you want to call it Lords or whether you want to call it Niranjan Shah Stadium, whatever.
Who called it Lords?
Ashwin, that press box.
Oh.
He said this is the press box of Lords, this is the press box. It is the Niranjan Shah Stadium.
Niranjan Shah Stadium.
We announced in an hour from now.
Yep. Which was erstwhile.
I want to know why is there such a long gap?
Beats me. Because I want to understand the travel logistics. You've kept a 9-day gap from Vizag to Rajkot. Okay, I can understand that there's no direct flights to Rajkot. You have to get down at Mumbai to Rajkot. But there is just a 3-day gap from Rajkot to Ranchi, other end of the country. And then you've got a 9-day gap to Dharamshala.
Again.
Yeah. Rather than you're going from west to east, which is a hassle, it's full of hassles. Why couldn't you have kept a gap from 4 to 5? The fourth, between the third and the fourth test.
No, I think it's we have seen this happen earlier also in overseas tours also, that there is gap between the New Year and before the New Year I think there's a gap.
There's Boxing Day test.
Boxing Day and then New Year,
Yeah, only a 3-day gap.
In a 5-match test series I do understand having a...
I'll tell you why there is a gap. You're looking for logical reasons. That this area, that area. The gap is because in the times that we live in of T20 cricket, your players are not used to bowling 18 overs a day. They will all have injuries and not be able to bowl. Gone are those days where you had the Kapil Devs and the Wasim Akrams of the world who would bowl 20 overs a day in a test match for good 3 days and then again be available for the next test match and again for a next test match and again for a series after that, and by the way also bowl enough in the net practice.
Yep.
Nowadays your fast bowlers are not even expected to bowl in nets. You get net bowlers, so you have to wrap them up in cotton wool. However it's happened, whether it's the training techniques, whether it's too much cricket, that argument, we'll have to keep another show as to why it is happening. But the fact is that because your players will break down, and it's not just to fast bowlers, injuries are happening to even spinners, batters, everyone. So after 10 days of cricket, it was decided that please, with the IPL not too far away, let us have a big 9-day gap, lest one of these players gets injured and then is not available to play.
So you've had 2 9-day gaps also, because again one is now, then there's a 9-day gap between 4th and 5th test also.
Have to.
Yep. Oh. And then you've got a 10-day gap from that to the IPL.
Have to, no. Because after every 2 tests you have to do it. It's not possible. Times have changed.
Yep.
Wasim Akram, Kapil Dev and all these guys were made of different material. Who would say that the more you bowl in the nets, the fitter you get. The more you bowl in a test match, the fitter you get. Today there is we know this for a fact that your workload is not just managed in terms of rotation of players, which of course happens. Your workload is also managed by the NCA. So NCA actually tells the teams that how many overs X1 needs to be bowling, how many overs Y has to be bowling, how many days he needs to be off, how many days he needs to rest. So all of that happens. That's why you have optional training sessions. In white ball cricket, you seldom have fast bowlers even going for net practices. So all of that has been organized, and I'm not blaming them, because the fact of the matter is that injuries are also happening. So we sit in today's day and age where we are saying that one bowler is fit for one series, not available for the next series, batter is available for this series, not available. So that is also a reality. So while you can look at it one way and say why so many gaps, come on, toughen up, play, but then the other reality is that when you try to get them to toughen up and play, then injuries also happen. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't know what is the correct solution.
You're only 2 breaks and add another T20 series, one more before the World Cup, so that you could have gone with your main team.
But then who would have played the T20 series?
No one before.
Everyone would be injured. No.
A T20 series before the IPL.
The T20 series.
A T20 series before the IPL.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
No, it's never gonna
warm
happen.
you up for the IPL.
Yeah.
You'll find a lot of players get side strains.
You are anyway warming up for the IPL.
No,
in
no.
these
That
five
That
test
they will
series.
not get.
A lot of more players would have been injured for these test series if that was to happen.
See, before or even after the IPL, whenever you have gone to the Caribbean for a T20 World Cup, history has a trend that you always fall flat on the earth.
How many times have you gone to the Caribbean for a T20 World Cup?
Never.
Once.
No,
2010, but that was after the IPL. And whenever you've gone for an ICC
So it's only
event,
once, huh?
ICC event,
You know, one time, one time when I woke up from my bed, I fell. So now history suggests that the second time I do it also, I'm going to fall.
You
Come
might.
on, yeah.
You might.
No,
because
no,
see,
no, no,
every
no.
ICC event after an IPL, what's happened?
That is a fair thing. Every ICC event, but the Caribbean angle, no. Because again, if you're saying 2009, yes, it was after the IPL. And in fact, I think Kirsten was the coach at that point in time. And he very categorically said that we had fatigue.
2010 you mean?
No, even 2009, the World Cup, the T20 World Cup that was held, that was
In
after the
England.
IPL.
In England.
Yeah, it was after the IPL. And you had fatigued players even then. 2009, 2000.
South Africa, you then went to England. Yeah.
Correct.
You didn't make the semis 2009.
You
You did,
lost the Super 6 stage itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, one thing that has happened, whatever the reasons, again, this is not that. But see, it was such an exciting series. There was a lot of interest, as we could see from our engagements, as well as just general chatter on social media, on traditional media, everywhere. That you could see there's a general interest, and I don't blame, because you had two outstanding test matches, two closely contested test matches, 1-1, and everyone's waiting, like you're watching a film and it's building up, and then you have a interval. Instead of 10 minutes, you've had like
Half an hour.
almost a day. So you're saying you only seen the film today, now come back tomorrow. Takes away, no. You're building up to the excitement. Whatever said and done, it's taken away. Of course, that excitement will come if you get another test match, but it'll again take time to build over. That momentum had come, people were really engaged, they were getting excited watching a test match, and then you have a 9-day break.
And also,
where one team decided not to do any nets and just play golf.
Abu Dhabi.
And also, you have to remember, nowadays we're living in an era where we talk about instant gratification of T20s. We also live in the Netflix era where if a series drops, they'll drop every single episode. So you can sit and watch the entire thing. Gone are the days, we all lived through them, Shashwat maybe not, where you'd wait 1 week or 1 day,
For the next
same
episode.
time for the next
Next episode,
episode. That's gone. You're dropping it all.
Binge watch.
Binge watching for the win. That's how it goes.
Yep.
So you have that. You've got a knife-edge series, 2 tests, 1-1, very closely contested, and then let's just cool off.
You have to again start from scratch, the excitement, the anticipation, which is like, oof. And this is going to happen yet again.
For the last test.
Unless the series is tied 2-2 heading into Dharamshala,
But even then, 9 days.
then there'll be a bit of an excitement.
Of course, but that 9 days is a long gap. It's like your body is warmed up, and
5
then
or 6 days is understandable. 9 days is a little too much. See, I do understand giving them rest is very important, because someone like a Bumrah, someone like a Rohit, who have to get into the IPL, and now this is what it is. It's right or wrong. That's another.
Why only Rohit and Bumrah?
No, I'm just
Everyone
giving
has to get into
examples.
IPL.
It's just as it. all
Jadeja
three go,
has
but
to.
They have to carry. It's not.
Jurel
just
has to.
everyone. No, I think more of Jasprit Bumrah and Rohit Sharma. I named
Patidar
them.
has to.
Specifically, I named them because of the reason they have been on the go
Jaiswal
since a very
has to.
long time. But they
Jaiswal also playing
Yeah,
golf.
even Jaiswal
Yeah.
also. But
Everybody.
Those were just
Everybody.
examples.
Shubman, your GT captain.
Shubman.
oh yeah.
So it's not just about the load.
Siraj.
Of course, RCB spearhead.
Ashwin.
Yep.
Of
Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah,
And
that's not-
Siraj is on the
Kuldeep
prayer.
Yadav.
There's not a player in this 15, 16, whatever it is, who doesn't have an IPL contract.
Yeah.
I named all of them. And they're all
Pujara
crucial.
would have been there, but
They're all
he's-
crucial for their teams.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is that it's not just the load their body would be taking all throughout this time. It will also be they have to step up mentally also in the IPL also, and then the World Cup also. So I think this 9 days was important, and I do understand the break after the 2 more test matches before the 5th one. That is also understandable. Could have been a 5-6 days.
See,
9 days is a little too much.
when you
But I
go-
also think the reason for 9 days is that you wanted to start it. You wanted day 3s and 4s to be on a Saturday, Sunday, so that because of the viewership. That's why also I think it's been 9 days and not 5 days.
See, and also India doesn't have an organized calendar. We are the only country that plays cricket all 12 months. We don't, like in the Sena countries, except England. You go to the southern part of the hemisphere, there is commitments around Boxing Day, around New Year's Test. So you have to play in and around that period. 1-2 tests prior to that, Boxing Day, 1-2 tests after Sydney. But mostly Sydney is your final stop in Australia when you look at test matches. 2020 barring that was a COVID impacted era, and that's so Boxing Day and New Year is set. Same with New Zealand, same with South Africa. Play tests accordingly, and the gap, if I just remember the Ashes, it was 26 to 30th in Brisbane, 7 to 11 in Adelaide, then it was 15 to 19 in Perth, 26 to 30
So
Melbourne.
the New Year test you think started on the 7th?
3rd,
Third,
3rd of January.
That's
always there.
Okay, I want a bigger question. Now, Gap has done whatever the reason. A bigger question, even though you've had a 9-day gap, is Jasprit Bumrah being rested for this test match?
No.
Are you sure?
Fairly.
Too
As
much at
sure as I
stake.
can be.
He just reached today, by the way, or last evening. The entire team had reached.
But there's too much at stake.
He's just reached
No, I
Rajkot.
think it's the next test match you're going to be resting of Jasprit Bumrah, because I think he would not have even come if he was to be rested in this game itself.
Acha.
Yeah.
So, but you've allowed him to come later, that because you want to save him bowling in the nets also.
Awesome.
Yeah, and maybe he needed some time of recovery, or maybe some other issue, personal, some not problem, some work he would have had. Anything could have come up.
See, anyway, he stays in Mumbai. So, just about an hour's flight. He could have come
No,
anytime
because
he wants
the
to.
rest of the team had trickled in
Trickled in.
2-3 days in advance. Jasprit Bumrah reaches there. I'm wondering whether he's being
If
rested,
you
because that worries me now.
If you drop him now, if you want to rest him now,
Not drop, rest.
rest. If you want to,
He cannot
rest
be
him,
dropped.
He won't be dropped. Absolutely not. If you rest him now, then looking at the conditions in Rajkot, which has traditionally been hard and flat, and with India's ultimate X factor gone, then I think you're going to fall behind in the series. Then, and I think you can't recover before Ranchi.
But you'll have to rest him some point.
Ranchi.
I would say.
So what changes in Ranchi?
Nothing. I think what the Indian team is expecting right now is to just take that lead once and then rest him.
No.
So 2-1, you are happy going to Ranchi?
I would
Okay.
say-
Because you have the team. If given to Rohit Sharma, he wouldn't want him to rest him. He would want him to play all.
So
the
it's
5
not
games.
given to Rohit Sharma.
No, it is given to Rohit Sharma, but he has to. Because his body needs it, it's better than actually having an injured Bumrah being left out than to actually rest him so that he's available for the 5th one at least.
In an ideal world, we pray that India wins in Rajkot and Ranchi. Then forget the conditions in Dharamshala, then rest him.
But that's
I would, in an ideal world, because see, if you lose Rajkot, it'll take a superhuman effort to come back at Ranchi.
and what's more, if you lose Rajkot, then I think plans of resting him take a toss.
Yeah, definitely. But
You can't rest him.
Ideally, it would have been better to actually rest Bumrah in the last test so that he gets that extra 10 days rest also. But of course, you can't do that because you're playing in Dharamshala. But I also feel that if you end up when you reach Dharamshala, it's 3-1 by then.
Then
Why can't he play all 5 test matches and rest after that?
No.
I hope so.
No.
But see, that is again, that's an
He
ideal
rest,
world.
no?
He
He can
should
rest.
See, he's got
He
9
can-
days.
See, anyway, Mumbai are slow starters. We can rest 4-5 games.
In the IPL.
Yeah, Mumbai have never won the opening game for
And see,
12
even if he
years
gets
now.
knocked out midway the tournament, he will still not rest.
You saw that in 2022.
Yeah.
What is the latest is that, what if he decides to rest at that time? Latest is that he unfollowed them on social media, I heard. Yeah.
It wasn't it the 2 captaincy candidates who unfollowed each other?
Who unfollowed whom?
Is it?
Wasn't it Hardik who
I don't know.
unfollowed Rohit or vice versa? Something
Or
on
did
those
they even
lines.
follow each other?
No. Jasprit Bumrah recently.
Who unfollowed
what I-
Jasprit Bumrah?
No, Jasprit Bumrah unfollowed.
That's
Followed.
what I heard. I'm not sure.
I am also not sure.
We never know because sometimes it turns out they're not even following in the first place and then
Yeah.
people make a brouhaha about it. So
Yeah.
I never really know.
Exactly.
Trading window is still a week's time.
No, wait.
Yeah, 22nd.
Oh, yeah, 20.
So, okay, I'll just figure out. Now tell me, if Bumrah, he should be following Mumbai Indians for sure, right?
Yeah.
In theory, yeah.
Yeah, he
In
should.
theory, right?
And even Mumbai Indians should be following him back.
Mumbai Indians is following him, but I don't see him following.
Does he follow IPL or BCCI or anyone also?
No, but he's not following.
No, but then there is a feature now, isn't it, that only they can see the full list of followers.
Followers, but you can see the following list. No, they can only be
Okay.
following 20, 30 people. Who is following, not his
Following,
followers.
okay.
Following you can still see easily, and even
He's following Hardik Pandya
Okay.
In what?
on Instagram.
okay.
I was checking
Mumbai
X.
Indians is following.
No, I was checking
Instagram
X.
he is.
XX.
X.
But on Instagram, Mumbai Indians is following.
Achha.
Okay. So I think
was
that's
checking
a fair
X.
barometer then. I think.
It's not even a.
That's why I don't trust social media.
Yeah, I don't. But I've
But
seen
on
enough.
X he was not.
The-
But maybe-
yeah,
maybe he
doesn't
was not.
That way.
I think he's not that active on X. He's active on Insta, if I'm not mistaken.
Even his Insta isn't that active.
Is it? Because he posts stories which goes viral.
Yeah, his story posting is more viral than his actual.
So what? He's playing 100% sure.
Yes,
Everyone, no
yes,
chance
yes.
of him being rested.
Not a chance. Not this time.
Now to the point that England has been saying and is the common consensus, the fact that you guys even mentioned it, that if India is 2-1 down going into the Ranji test, why I find that interesting is because those things were unheard of in Indian cricket. How many times did you even sit in a situation in a home test series where you even contemplated the other team leading midway through the series? Seldom happens.
Hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah,
in
so
one decade.
the fact that you guys are mentioning is that a sign towards the shift in balance when it comes to India versus England on home turf, because this is unusual. I think before the series started, nobody gave them a chance. Now you guys are saying we can go to Ranchi with maybe even England leading 2-1. What has changed in these two test matches? That everyone now is saying that. I hear it from the England camp. We mentioned it yesterday. Ian Bell, if I'm not mistaken, went on to say in a program that I could see fear in Rohit Sharma's eyes when England was set that target of 400 plus. I could sense the fear in Rohit Sharma's eye, and I think the England team and the England camp, if a former player has noticed it, I'm sure the England camp has noticed. Is the balance of power or who's favourite kind of shifted in this series just after two test matches?
Look, it's England. We have to take it with a pinch of salt. They know how to hype things up and do all these kind of psychological hula baloos.
I thought Australia were good at that. No?
Exactly.
I mean, there is one individual who has.
Bazball from the media also. English media is also playing Bazball.
See, there is an individual who is not in the playing 11 in the England cricket team, but he's taken the role of right arm mouth.
Who's
Okay,
that?
that's Ollie Robinson. Ollie Robinson was, I mean, as I say in Hindi, mashhoor for his comments that he made on Australia when they lost Edgbaston. The same things came out. Oh, they were scared, they were lucky, and all that things. But we saw through like the kind of psychological hula baloos that England want to do. And England, this is yet another long list of delusional comments that they would want to make. I'll tell you why. Okay.
You cannot call this a delusional comment.
I mean, England for
Okay,
what,
we'll come to you. Huh?
for what they did in the Ashes, the first two tests, they were living in a parallel universe. And let us not forget,
They made a comeback.
they made a comeback, but the damage was done. See,
No, but you still
you
can't
have
call
to.
that delusional.
They are in delusion because for 146 years,
Delusion would have been if they would not have made a comeback.
no, for 146 years, they have held the Ashes. Morally, they have held the Ashes. They have won every World Cup morally. They have won every ICC event morally. So, why not we call them living in a delusion land, in La La Land? And Ollie Robinson and Bazball has given them an open platform.
So you're saying they're doing it on purpose.
They are doing it on purpose.
Now, why you
even-
think it's
even
not?
I do agree that they are doing it on purpose, and I think it's a very good game plan to actually follow because they know that all these things are definitely affecting the
No,
Indian
but Robinson, let's say, is doing it. But I heard Anderson also say a similar
team.
thing.
Last test match.
Yes.
Or before the fifth day.
So everyone is doing it.
Everyone is
And
doing
you-
it.
and
Even a good guy like Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, Jimmy Anderson is not that much of a good guy. So he's a class act as a bowler, but he also has never shied away
Australia
from
don't
chirping.
agree.
Poor guy, you pushed him. Jadeja pushed him, you remember?
Yeah. The Aussies will not agree that he's a good guy.
Although to be fair, the Aussies had more than their fair share of chirpers.
Of course. I mean, Mitchell Johnson, Michael Clark.
You're still going back one generation. Go back two generations.
Yeah, Hayden, Ponting. I mean, Hayden was the guy who silenced him. I mean, his
But Hayden
dibbly
also-
doubly in swingers were just
But Hayden also was someone who ran his mouth a lot, especially in newspaper columns,
Yep.
podcasts and stuff.
I know.
That used to be
I remember that famous comment by Hayden when he said that Muralidharan, the entire checking fiasco happened. He said that even the Australians are kind of got a flex. So he said, oh, sticks and stones kind of abuse is not going to win you any sympathy in this part of the woods. He had written a column, absolutely demeaning Muralidharan. And that all boiled out when John Howard, who was the Prime Minister, he said, oh yeah, he chucks, right? So Murali, what? He can't even verify the facts and he's directly accusing me of a chucker. So in that sense, see, England and Australia are sledge masters, but England have got a bigger master than them, and that is Australia.
So you were trying to say that all of this is delusion. They're seeing all of this. Or you don't think that India is under pressure?
Ollie Robinson has given an inside detail of how Bazball works. There is belief. There is, you may say, cast iron belief in them.
No, but that has actually worked for them because first test match they actually ended up winning. Second test match you gave them close to 400 total and you were scared. I remember sitting here talking, everyone here gave a chance to England. I know I would have given a little more chance, but nobody ruled them out clearly.
Because
every other team we would have said 95-5.
Yeah. See, I have to kind of, while it may be a game plan or not, there can't be like, everyone who says part of the game plan. I just quoted Ian Bell who says that he didn't notice fear. You had Robinson saying a few things. You also had Jimmy Anderson, say a few things about how they were viewing. So these are three different examples. And the fact is that whatever said and done, how many times would have any team given an opposition chance, or at least the Indian team? I'm going back to Shubman Gill, who even said there is a 30% chance that England can win. You're chasing 400 plus in India, even though the pitch was still good to bat on. I agree, it did not start turning as it always does. How many times is the opposition team or an Indian team would have given them, go back to the time of Virender Sehwag and Harbhajan Singhs and Saurav Ganguly and all they were playing. Even though that time you had tougher oppositions come, they would win test matches here. Still 400 plus, I mean imagine a Sehwag sitting in the press conference, you asked him how what is the child, he'll say 0%. They're not making it boss from here, nobody's making 400 again. They would have said something like that. I'm not saying that there should be a false bravado from the Indian team, but what Shubman said is probably echoing exactly what he and the team feels. The fact that the Indian team even felt there was a 30% chance of a team chasing down 400 in Indian conditions, that too an English team which not always has had great record here, that just tells you that what England did in the first test match or what England has done generally in international cricket has made an impact. And I kind of agree, there were moments there in that test match when England came out attacking at all stages that you did feel the Indian team also, there was that to and fro happening. Oh, India now has an advantage. No, now England probably is getting the edge. No, India has the edge. England, in a situation which would have been hopeless on other occasions. So I think there is merit in the fact if there are gung-ho about their chances, England, then there is merit. It's not just a pretense. It's not just false bravado, it is where we are, or just saying it lip service, none of that. I think the Indian team is also well aware of their strength, and I think the English team also know that they have kind of put this self-doubt in the Indian team, that they also are wary of our batting strengths, are wary of how we can perform, and probably that also reflects in the pitches that India suddenly has decided to come.
I mean, if you look at the quote which he said, and I've read it 2-3 times, it's been on screen, nothing about it screams bravado. He says, we needed 399 in the fourth innings. Shubman's come out and said, we, that is England, have a 30% chance of winning. Jimmy Anderson has never seen an Indian player come out and say something like that. Every single thing is correct. Jimmy Anderson has been playing for donkey's years. He's been playing for donkey's years and he's come to India, failed, then worked on his record in Asia. But again, he's only been part of one team that has ever come to India and won. That's it. So him coming out and saying that, listen, I've never seen an Indian player say that an opposition team have come to India chasing 400 and have a 30% chance of winning. I mean, there were constantly times and I kept going back and reanalyzing, saying this wicket doesn't fall here or there and England are in the game.
Exactly.
You don't get Zach Crawley on day 4. He could have taken the game away from you. Bumrah doesn't come and dismiss a Ben Foakes. Ben Foakes fell when there were about 120-30 runs needed, if I'm not wrong. Foakes bats and takes it down to the 90s and then it's nervous 90s for India. Because you're thinking it's a batting pitch.
See,
So
this
nothing
is
delusional.
There is this one thing only. That's the one comment that he really did say that. Yes, I mean Shubman, he did say that 30%.
I'm saying, so that forget what people are saying. I'm asking you where things stand right now. More often than not, whatever you've seen in the last decade, would you ever be worried about an opposition team when they were in India?
Never.
Against India?
Never.
Has this England team changed that mindset? Are you looking at this test match, which is why I said, forget, okay, agreed, players could come out, be part of strategy. I said, forget. Just as someone analyzing the sport from the outside, has this team now gone to a level or forced you to think, someone who's observing the game, that no matter the pitch, no matter the conditions, no matter the situation, they're always in with a chance? When was the last time you felt like that?
Honestly, the way how they play, they have put that element of fear.
Yeah.
There's no denying that. The way how they play. And
so then they're not wrong, right, in what they're saying?
In this particular instance, no, they are not wrong.
I'll give you more, because yesterday Kuldeep Yadav was at the press conference, right? And he had a very interesting insight saying, listen, when you're bowling against them, you know you're always in the game because they're playing so attackingly. But you have to bowl differently to them. Sometimes you need to be defensive because you don't expect in test cricket that any team is going to come out and go all guns blazing. They do it. So sometimes you have to be defensive.
So Kuldeep said that we have to bowl differently.
He said as much.
So 180 degrees today in the press conference that Ravindra Jadeja attended. Jadeja said, just because they are attacking, I need not be bowling differently.
No, but
I can keep my plans simple.
No, but
He's
those are two
saying
different
that.
bowlers. Two different bowlers.
Yeah.
No, he could still follow it. Again, it's each spinner's approach could be different.
Yeah.
Maybe Jadeja thinks that no, he trusts his processes. He thinks sooner or later he'll get the person out.
Yep.
Maybe Kuldeep is like, okay, now because they're attacking, let me change it a bit and play on the fact that they're attacking. That is possible. But I will also give credit, just as we are, talking England up, which is fair because they played a good cricket like that. But I'm also liking India's approach, which is why I say I like this series, because a Kuldeep Yadav here does not come and say that, oh, Bazball. So, he's also saying, yeah, good they're playing it. I'm enjoying playing against this Bazball, but it offers me also a chance. That is quite reflecting of a big-hearted spinner. That's one. Secondly, I love what Jadeja also said. See, again, it's glass half full, glass half empty. Jadeja said, everyone's talking, England, they could have chased down. But he looked at it differently, and I like his perspective. He said, you know what? We could very well have been sitting 2-0 up. We took lead in that first test match in the first inning. We made a couple of silly mistakes.
Small mistakes.
Had we not made those silly mistakes, we would have been sitting here 2-0 up.
Yep.
And you would have said, oh, series is only going one way. So to that also I agree, that India could have also been that dominant. They came back. By the way, after that first test loss, again, India were under pressure.
Yep.
They've come back and won this test match. They very well could have won their first test match. That's what I'm saying. So as things stand right now, why you're liking is that neither team at the moment is feeling inferior. Neither team, heart of heart, England feels that they've got India under the pump, and India are worried, they're nervous. India is feeling, oh, one or two mistakes here or there, otherwise 2-0 boss, we would have been sitting, so we have nothing to worry. That is what is making this series as exciting as it is.
And I also feel that the England team has now gotten into the comfort zone. It's how like when you actually enter somewhere, you're a little held back, you don't open up so easily. Now because they know that they are under and they have achieved some confidence, because it's not just how India's approach has changed. After the first test loss, you just changed everything 180 degrees. So they noticed that. On fourth day when Jimmy Anderson came out and
Change what 180 degrees, for example?
how you play test cricket, you change the wicket. You started changing.
But
it wasn't a rank turner.
You did not even give them a rank turn in
It
the
was a
first
slow
test.
turn.
Not for a lack of trying.
Yeah.
Hyderabad, I suspect they were trying for a rank.
Yeah, and
No,
it did
but-
not
but-
turn. That
but-
was a different thing.
No, it did turn.
It was a
did
slow
turn.
turn.
It was a slow turn.
But I still don't know whether it was that kind of a thing. I mean, I find it hard to believe that if India really wanted those pitches, which they were very effectively producing all this while, that they failed in 2 games in a row. They
No.
could have produced it. I'm sure.
Isaac, definitely the intent was to make a sporting wicket.
Hyderabad also.
Yeah,
I
Hyderabad,
don't
no,
know.
Hyderabad,
I am taking that with a pinch of salt, because a lot of it was reported by the English media that, oh, Hyderabad, once again, India is preparing that. Maybe it wasn't the case. And I think it showed with the fact that India played 2 fast bowlers.
Yep.
See, if it backfired, let's say if India thought it was going to be that sort of a rank turner 2-day test match, then India also would have not play too fast. They would have known, oh, this is. So somewhere back of their mind, India also knew that yes, we are preparing a dry surface, all right, which will help spinners, but it's not going to be a Ahmedabad, Chennai that we saw in 2021. If they wanted it, I'm sure they could have prepared that kind of I know it's not an exact science. It wouldn't have been down to the T. And I think that's what happened last match also, that they probably wanted a good batting surface for the first 3 days and wanted the ball to start turning day 4 and 5. But because it's not an exact science, you could not get it. This time too, that may be the case. Though I will take the local boys' word for it. Can we please see the pitch? Pawan, now we know these are the latest images. We discussed the pitch yesterday as well. There was a bit of grass. I think they've not shaved it off that much, but I know that that's not the grass that will get fast bowlers excited. This is the grass that just keeps the pitch together. It just holds the pitch together. So that is not too much of a surprise. But the fact that you've changed your mindset in this one series, that itself is a big change for me from Indian cricket. We all wanted Indian cricket to go back to the pitches that we saw till the 2000s, till even the late 2000s, and then suddenly it changed. We all wanted it to go back, and whatever evidence we've seen of the 3 pitches so far, it is suggesting you're going that way. It's still not a perfect science, but I'll take the local boy's word for it, where he says that this is going to be a pitch that will be good for batting first 3 days, but after day 3 it is going to start turning, and I think that this will be a similar pitch like
and
that.
Because you've taken that route, that is what England knows. At one match they put the Indian team under pressure, they have suddenly changed their way of playing test cricket in India, and I think that's the reason that now I know that they are going a little over the line when they are talking about this fact that when Jimmy Anderson said after the fourth day of the 4th test match that we are going to go out and chase this and third. So I still feel that why they are doing this, because they are seeing India react to such statements, and they know that once they try to get under the skin of the Indian team is definitely reacting to that. And we should not forget that the Indian team also did that. I remember Mohammad Siraj saying this before the series started, that Bazball, if they play Bazball here, they are not going to be able
It'll be only a 1.5 day test.
So India's approach has definitely changed. So I think that's exactly why the England team is doing this now. Being a little over the board, I think what Oli Robinson said, but I think that's because they know that all of this. Now, what will happen is, as soon as the Indian team listens to this, they will come out like, no, now we have to show them. Like they did after Jimmy Anderson's statement, and we even noticed this fact that the Indian team came up really switched up the next day. So I think that's the reason the English team is doing this, and they know that the Indian team is under pressure, and that is very visible.
Why aren't you saying right arm mouth
right
for
mouth.
Siraj?
I mean, he tried the right arm mouth thing, but it backfired spectacularly.
Foot and mouth moment.
India is not comfortable in making over the top statements. I mean, the most epic sledge that I can ever remember was 2008 Bengaluru, when Harbhajan Singh and Zaheer Khan had such a partnership against Australia. India were fighting for their lives. Australia were going for the kill, but they somehow held on for a draw. Zaheer Khan very cleverly, he deflected it all by saying Australia couldn't get me and Baji out. So that planted the seeds in Ricky Ponting's mind. Ponting was perplexed. We were the ones who were trying to go for the win. They were just surviving. But then, indeed, that one particular fact that they pointed out, the Siraj was well over the top. 1.5 days, come on. We are taking this England cricket team too lightly.
No, a lot of people believed that before the series.
Not really.
The fan chatter on social media was very.
But that was also based on the fact that you thought you will get those kind of pitches. You haven't. You haven't. And this now, and again, sometimes pitches can be deceptive. But what this pitch shows is it does look like a good batting surface.
Yep.
Even from a picture you can make out the color of the pitch, the kind of the grass that has been left to hold it together does tell you that it should be a good pitch to bat on. No demons.
It's sticky to start off with.
No, but you know what? That is because of the color making you look sticky. But the interesting bit is that it has been reported that they were spraying some sort of a liquid on that to give it this color, and that liquid, my friend, is not water. So there are various things at play here. I have read reports which suggest that something was sprayed,
some clay chemical or something in that
which has made the pitch look darker than it is, because the lighter it is, the drier it does seem. With the darker it gets, you feel like it's moisture. May not be that kind of moisture, but that tinge has been given to the pitch. But why I'm saying that I will believe a Jadeja, what I think the biggest thing that India needed, they needed it last time around, you prepare a good batting pitch, all right, but what you needed, and see, go back to those 2000s that I talk about, where India would do the magic against teams without preparing a rank turner. What was it that helped you win? What was that one thing that helped your spinners do well? Was the fact that you would get a good bounce on that surface. So remember Anil Kumble getting that ball to come, you get gloves or get bat and pad, and your short leg, silly point, all of them come into play, and majority of your wickets came in that fashion. Whether it was a Harbhajan Singh, whether it was an Anil Kumble, they'd get that extra bounce. What would trouble. Now I think what India wanted is not rank turners, that artificial assistance. What I think India believes in, and that's why they're going with a pitch like this. Many might say that because India is not confident of their batting, because of inexperienced batting lineup going into the test match. That's why they are saying, okay, let's prepare a good pitch for a or less experienced batting lineup. Because I think it's the other way around. I think India feel instead of batting versus batting, apple versus apple, they're comparing orange versus orange, which is bowlers versus bowlers. So saying rather than their bowlers, their inexperienced bowlers, majority of them, barring a Jimmy Anderson, even Mark Wood seemed very inexperienced in these kind of conditions. So their bowlers may not get the purchase that you can get from this pitch, but Indian bowlers in a Kuldeep Yadav, in a Ravichandran Ashwin, in a Ravindra Jadeja, in a Jasprit Bumrah, and even in a Mohammad Siraj, will be able to utilize this pitch better. So I feel that if you do get that extra bounce and the ball turning in the second innings, then that 400 will be tough. Then you get your close-in fielders, and I know, and you've seen it in the past. Ashwin is capable of getting those back pads, those gloves with that bounce. Kuldeep is capable, being the wrist spinner, to get that extra bounce to trouble that English batter, and so is Jadeja. And I think that is that one factor they want to get into play. And the fact that England have announced their 11, they have picked 2 fast bowlers. They've gone with 2 spinners and the third in Joe Root, which many will argue is good enough to be called the third spinner in their team. It's also told you what kind of a surface there is on offer in Rajkot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a typical Rajkot featherbed, which will get progressively worse after day 3. I mean, you look at it, who had the maximum success the last time?
I wouldn't be surprised if this starts to turn from day 2.
I mean, you look at the last test that was played here.
Tough.
Day 3.
Day 3.
I would even say maybe day 4. So
I think I don't know. I just have a feeling that the grass is just a mask.
No, that's fair. But again,
that too, I agree.
is there. But when I
the thing
looked
is,
at
it's holding the pitch together, right?
Plus,
so it just
the
can't.
rate of deterioration Rajkot will be quicker because it's hotter. It's much more hotter in Rajkot.
That's why
Now?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yesterday, but we checked.
It's quite hot.
It's not that hot.
28, 29.
28, 29.
That's balmy, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, but still,
It's
I mean,
nice weather.
you
That's the best you
feel
can get.
much hotter there because it's near the Tropic of Cancer. So that's why, even if it's 29, 30, you feel it's 35,
It's going to be
36.
31, 32 tomorrow.
That's all right.
But you feel
for-
36, 37.
See, I
For
look
Indian
at that.
pitches, it's good.
No, I look at that and it looks like a white ball pitch.
Yeah.
That was my first thought. It looks exactly like the pitch you'd make for a T20I or ODI.
Yeah, it will be really good for a T20I, but for
No, even an ODI. It's not going to change much over a day.
I doubt it.
It's not.
Again.
It will change at best by day 3.
All I'm just saying is that whatever we're saying is all an estimate, because even Rahul Dravid, who's played over 100 test matches, always goes and sees the pitches, as has been seeing in the last 2 days. Even he's come out and says that, it's tough to really read a pitch.
Yeah.
So anything that we say is only based on assumption, based on past experiences. Nobody, I repeat, nobody can 100% tell you, not even the groundsman who knows every inch of that pitch and every blade of grass can tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you look back to the last test match that was played here in 2018. Prithvi Shaw made his debut there and scored a century against the West Indies. It was Kuldeep Yadav who took a 5-wicket haul there also. So it was a typical wicket where batting became much better on day 1 and day 2. But okay, we are reading too much on the West Indies because they are a very fragile batting unit.
I mean,
they collapsed.
But look at the 2 domestic games. I just gave that example yesterday. I think the 2 domestic games, the last one, Pujara got a double 100,
Yep.
so it's a good pitch to bat on. Before that was the Irani Trophy game, where I think one inning folded up for 150 something, the other for 79 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can get any sort of pitch in Rajkot.
Yep.
This is the same ground which allowed I because this became a big controversy in those years, which allowed Jadeja, when he was trying to make a
3
comeback,
triple tons.
it allowed Jadeja to get triple tons. It would also allow Jadeja to run through batting lineups in 2 days.
2 days, yes.
2 innings.
Yep.
So you can make it the way you
Exactly. That's how Rajkot.
I mean, if you go back in history, check India, England, the last time they played in Rajkot, it was an absolute road.
Yeah.
It went to the 5th day and it was a tame draw.
Yeah. 2016.
Yeah, when
Cook
Stokes
and
got a
Stokes got a
century,
century.
Cook got a century, they all got very easy runs on offer there. And that was, I think, Stokes' first tour of India.
Yeah, it was. It was his first tour after he had gotten 3 ducks against India in 2014. So, yeah, I mean, Rajkot, you'll have to work hard for your wickets. It won't be that.
At least for the first couple of days.
First couple of days. I mean, but it's a hard wicket, so you will get that extra bounce factor also. So Bumrah, Siraj has also hit the deck bowler. He can also get that.
Mark Wood.
So what's the 11 then for India? England we know. India does not announce.
For me, I would say
Not
Rohit,
for you. Tell me what is going to be the 11.
Rohit, Yashasvi,
Shubman,
Shubman,
Patidar,
Patidar,
Sarfaraz,
Sarfaraz,
Dhruv Jurel,
Dhruv Jurel,
Ravindra Jadeja,
yeah,
Ashwin, Kuldeep, Siraj, Bumrah.
No Aksar.
No, okay.
No Washington.
no Washington.
No Bumrah being rested.
No. Not at this particular point in time. Can't. Too much at stake. Because if you rest Bumrah, then England are going to come out and say, okay, this is ours for the taking. You've been handed a platter.
I'll be like Shashwat. I think this will be the team, but I won't be surprised
If that is the team.
if Bumrah is rested, if
Washington plays.
Sarfaraz does not get his debut, if Akshar plays, or if Washington plays. I wouldn't be surprised.
If Sarfaraz doesn't get a debut in this Rajkot match, I don't know then when will he make his debut.
But a great opportunity for him, I think. To
It is.
step up now
And see,
grab it.
looking
For
at
that, he needs to be given the cap.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm.
it's already confirmed. His size has been marked and cap is ready.
Cap number.
Ready.
looking at the nature of
I
the
know.
wicket, which
One
is
cap, 2 new cap numbers are definitely.
Of
ready.
course,
Yeah.
of
Or
course.
maybe more than 2 also.
No. Yeah, are you going to play Patigal also? Who you are
No,
dropping?
no, they are just 2.
just
caps are
two,
confirmed.
just two.
Bus, yeah.
2
looking-
new caps has arrived in the hotel.
Looking at
KS Bharat, no?
No.
No.
looking at the nature of the wicket, and since it's a flat deck in Rajkot, your combined middle order experience from number 4 to number 6, if you get those 2 debutants,
Is
just
one test.
One test. Your most experience in the middle
They've
order.
done very well with such experience. Australia.
No, but that was, see,
It
that
was a forced
your-
one.
That no, and that was
Even this is a
mostly
forced
no,
one.
that was mostly a bowling that was inexperienced.
Yeah.
That still had a Pujara and a Rahane.
Yep.
Yeah.
This time it's your batting that's inexperienced. Your bowler stepped up.
Yeah.
You had Thakur, Siraj,
Washington.
Natarajan.
Natarajan.
Yeah.
Nattu.
Siraj was your most experienced. bowler.
Experienced.
I haven't played one test.
Even
Yeah.
you had Karthik Tyagi also
On standby, yeah.
Standby.
And who else?
Navdeep
Mayank
Saini
Agarwal
was there, but then
Saini
Saini
played.
played in Sydney but pulled up because he had that injury.
But he ran that last run, na? That went for a boundary.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Pant saying in that documentary that he had, he's saying, we had to play one more test, yaar, हमारे पास player ही नहीं था.
Yeah.
That's how threadbare they were stretched and still won the series. But see, this time it's partly down to your own choice also. You dropped Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
Now, that's a call you've made, and it's a call you've made with some
There's a still
conviction.
don't playing Ranji Trophy even after Rahul Dravid said they are making comebacks. And
Hi, Ishan Kishan.
So Ishan Kishan is playing Ranji Trophy.
No.
No, I'm asking. Is he going to play?
DY Patil. He's already reached there. He's practicing already.
When is the next Ranji Trophy game for
It's,
them?
it's from Friday.
So obviously not.
Yeah.
playing.
No,
But he's been. I was reading somewhere. I'm not sure if that's. I don't think.
I'm not sure that's
Well,
true.
Now, what about the new diktat? Or it's reported that if you're not going to play Ranji, you won't even be allowed to play IPL.
But that's the thing, that is also speculative.
Yeah.
I don't
There's a
know.
reply for that
Who's
also.
given this diktat?
BCCI source.
No,
There's a
BCCI.
reply to this also by Ishan Kishan that he's now going to play DY Patil now.
No, but then
but-
Yeah.
You know why?
Ranji Trophy you have to play.
He's
No,
playing
not
that,
Ranji,
he's playing
because
DY
Dravid
Patil
said-
for Reliance one if I'm not wrong.
Because Dravid said he has to play some cricket. DY Patil counts as some cricket.
some
It is some cricket,
No,
right?
but
Tournament,
what
no.
about BCCI saying you have to play Ranji
No,
Trophy
no,
for
no.
IPL? What about that?
That's not been it's not been communicated. That thing is all. Even in the court, I remember, and we have this thing somewhere, is that we think the only solution will be that players.
Achha,
have
so
to.
it'll happen.
So yeah, it could happen. It may not happen.
Okay, so can we get back into serious stuff? Because what I heard in these last 2-3 minutes was a joke.
What?
The BCCI giving a diktat that suddenly, oh, you have to prioritize.
You were off 2 days. No, a lot happened in those.
I know. The
A lot
BCCI.
But
This was the same BCCI, okay, who issued the ultimate commandment on January 2, 2023.
No, but I'll be very honest. Situation of Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer, I think really different. I think Ishan Kishan now, I feel, if at this age he's decided to act. I was thinking about this yesterday.
Of course
that
he
if
was.
he's decided, if he already has decided not to play Test cricket,
Why,
and
of
if
course he was.
He's thinking of some ways to come back to the Shreyas Iyer dropping
No.
injustice. Hashtag justice
No,
for
this is not
Shreyas.
about Shreyas Iyer. It's about Ishan Kishan only. That I feel that
I thought yesterday you must have been thinking of what to do for Valentine's, how to plan.
No.
You were thinking of cricket on the Valentine
my
Eve.
true Valentine is that only.
Cricket.
Yeah.
That's what, so you're going to celebrate Valentine's
Already
Day.
I'm doing that only. Na?
Uh-huh.
But the thing is that Ishan Kishan, if he now does not go back into the Ranji Trophy and ends up playing the DY Patil, I think he should never be recalled to the Indian Test team after.
No, he's not going to be.
And he should
He's
not.
not going to be.
Personally, if it's left to me, I would not even give him an India comeback in any format. If you're disrespecting the board.
Shreyas Iyer?
Shreyas Iyer is a really different situation according to me.
Why?
No, because firstly.
Because he's a big fan of him.
No, it's
No,
not
so
that.
he was asked
Okay,
to go
just
play
before you
domestic-
answer, Shashwat, how many games should a player play?
Ranji Trophy.
How many?
Whenever he's available.
There's a number attached to it.
The number that was said is that the BCCI has said that we will try and make it mandatory that to play the IPL or even be available for the auction, 3 to 4 Ranji games a season. That's a lot of games.
No, but I think
a
it
lot
should
of
be
games
on the available. I
and
think it's more
not
of the
practical.
intention. If you intend to do well, then you would automatically go to domestic cricket and try to.
See,
because that's the only red ball cricket available in India.
Ishan, where is Jharkhand in the table right now?
They're not doing very good at all.
So he can play only one Ranji game.
Yeah.
And that would serve a meaningless Ranji game. It's a dead rubber for Jharkhand.
Sort of.
Now he can't, based on this diktat, he's already not played.
But that's my point. They've not made it official.
I know.
It's just we will do it. It's like
No, but if he, I'm saying, not even hypothetically, that's a very big chance that he would be seen playing in the DY Patil. How big a reply is that this from Ishan Kishan that I am not
So
interested?
how was it different for Shreyas Iyer?
Because Shreyas
How
Iyer
big a
firstly,
reply was that?
Now he's been dropped now. Now if he does, see, firstly Ishan Kishan is being openly told to play Ranji Trophy na, about Shreyas Iyer.
so was Shreyas.
So he was also told.
Shreyas Iyer.
He said, no, I cannot play more than 30 balls.
In fact, I remember that one
But now
game.
I'm ready to play.
That one game which he
Yes,
played where he made
just saying.
48
Andhra.
against Andhra. He was openly told by the
इसका
BCCI,
कुत्ता
listen, go
कुत्ता
play
हो
that
क्या
game.
इसका कुत्ता
Tommy.
टॉमी हमारा
He did
कुत्ता
play that
whatever
one Ranji
don't do
Trophy.
that
He
After
played
all,
Don't do
After being
that.
told.
And that also he said not
So
interested.
Ishan Kishan hasn't even played.
It's
after
the
being
same.
told.
My-
Even Shreyas isn't
my
that
only
interested,
point
being
is-
honest
He's
with you.
not played now, I'm saying.
My only point is, firstly, I feel like laughing at even the BCCI.
Uh-huh.
The BCCI has to plant these stories to
And just tell the
let-
players.
My point is, you are the BCCI,
I know.
the Lord gods of cricket.
World cricket.
Otherwise, yeah, you run the game, and you have to plant the stories and go through sources. We will do, we will do this to players. We will do to that player. We will do. Arey Baba, you should do it na. It's like I'm coming to this office and being told to sit here, and I'm refusing to come and sit in the show. And my employees are saying, no, tell him if he's not going to keep sitting in the show, then we will, sack him.
Sack him.
And so that message comes to me as I'm still not sitting. No, tell him again. If
No, it's betting it.
Baba,
It's like
I have to come and sit here.
No, and then I say that no, I'm going and sitting on another show.
Whatever. I'll go.
He'll go sit on
I
side.
mean, amazing, yaar. I mean, sometimes I feel that BCCI.
That's another story altogether.
If
that-
really BCCI wants to do this,
What's stopping them?
yeah.
You are
Exactly.
applying a cosmetic kind of a makeup to a very deep and ugly scar. The dam has already burst. It's out in
See,
the
I feel
open
the reason why they
that the BCCI does not give 2 cents even to the domestic structure.
I think, see, very honestly now.
They don't do a lot of other things.
No, but I
But this
still,
is evident now.
No, but I still feel that the Indian.
12-year-olds playing Ranji Trophy, yeah. That
Arey,
is.
that's a different story.
That-
12-year-olds.
He's going to message me that please don't mention my age again and again on your show.
Look, suddenly after 12 years, you're woken up.
No, all I'm saying is I still
Even
feel that
Sleeping Beauty didn't take that long to wake up.
BCCI still cannot go up to this most players and tell them.
Why not?
Because that if that would have been the case, then we would not have been seeing stories being leaked.
Ghar ka Vedi Lanka Dai. That's the situation.
That's what I feel.
See, I mean, we always
You're
say.
saying, I just want to know. So you're saying players are bigger than the BCCI?
Yes.
Like, so it is, we are in a situation where BCCI is bigger than cricket, but players are bigger than the BCCI.
No, now I'm
Oh my
able to
God.
Except in the case of captaincy.
I remember seeing this about when T20, this whole Virat thing happened at that point also, that the BCCI cannot go up to a senior player
Why
and tell
not?
what they have
They
decided.
went,
No,
excuse me, they had the courage to tell Virat Kohli, a
Yes.
player of Virat Kohli's stature, that you cannot continue as ODI captain because you have given up T20
by then
captaincy.
the water had really...
No, whatever it is, wherever water has gone, he wanted to continue as an ODI captain,
Yeah.
but they told him no. If you've given up T20, we'll take ODI also because we want to have a same white ball captain,
White ball
right?
captain.
They could do that. This is the same BCCI.
No, then how Virat reacted, everyone saw how everything
Whatever
actually
it is,
turned out.
yeah.
That's one
So
case and
you
how
cannot, but
actually-
you can tell Virat not to be that captain, but you are finding it tough to tell a Ishan, Kishan or Shreyas, please play. Then you have to plant stories.
Ishan Kishan, you have taken steps for Ishan Kishan and Shreyas, you have dropped them both, but I don't
And
think they
does
can
it
do
matter?
this with some senior player.
Then, no, does it matter? My point is, I'm hearing rumors and people are saying, you should take away his central contract. His central contract is worth 1 crore. He can make 15
No, but
crores.
now
I don't know.
Ishan
He
Kishan,
will,
I feel, doesn't
hear me
matter.
out. Hear me out. He will make 15 crores farting and coughing on the MI bench. 15 crore. 1 crore contract. What will it do for him?
No, but I still feel that Ishan Kishan doesn't deserve.
Joke, man.
I don't think that he should deserve.
But deserve is another
He
thing.
disrespected this so much.
Where is the disrespect?
It's all disrespect.
BCCI has done the same for years. You've made
Yeah, that's
test
right.
players out of
Yeah.
IPL legends.
Yeah.
Your
be frank.
priority now is IPL. Your selection benchmarks, your every benchmark now is IPL. I have said it ad nauseum.
And BCCI is the biggest guilty party.
Yeah,
exactly.
The biggest
Then
guilty.
going
They have
to-
allowed
Okay.
the situation to be like
Okay.
this.
If you want to really respect the domestic system, who was the last player to just break through from the domestic system?
Mayank Agarwal.
Sarfraz has not yet broken.
When he says breakthrough, he means someone who had a run. There was Mayank Agarwal.
Mayank
No one
Agarwal.
else.
And when was that?
2018.
6 years ago. 6 years ago.
Didn't take a lot to drop him also. Well.
Exactly. He had a 3-year good run. That's it. 3 years. Patidar, after so many years, what is his age? He's not a youngster. He's 30 years and 250 days. Rajat Patidar.
Is also.
And Sarfraz is the youngest of the lot. But how many years has he been toiling
No,
away in the
but there are
domestic
some
system?
questions on that also. On
His age.
Whatever. As of now, whatever you see on profile pages and all, he's 26 years. Okay. How long has he been toiling away in the
He's had
Ranji
3
Trophy?
good years of Ranji Trophy.
And
3
one
good
bad
years.
IPL.
And he was already touted as a breakthrough after 2014 and 16 under 19 World
Remember
Cup.
when he had a bad IPL, after that he had a really good Ranji Trophy season. And
Okay.
then there were reports that he just cannot come to the Indian team because he doesn't do well in the IPL.
So, you have answered that question.
yeah, so I'm
What is the benchmark?
IPL.
The benchmark is the IPL. The BCCI have been guilty about it. This is the same BCCI who has a schizophrenic Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of a
But
situation.
don't the selectors know anything about the Ranji Trophy? It
They
seems
know.
that they
See,
don't watch the Ranji Trophy at all.
I'll give one credit to the selectors that they go there, see the matches, and earmark certain people for talent. Just on paper. That's it. Okay? But when it comes to IPL, boss, this is our selection criteria, just selection template.
I'll go one step forward. Your all your newbies. Sarfaraz is really the only one who's there purely on the basis of his domestic merit.
Yeah.
You learnt of Dhruv Jarrell, the name
From
Dhruv
the
Jarrell
IPL.
registered in your conscious thanks to the IPL.
Patidar.
Same with a Rajat Patidar, same with a Devdutt Patikal. I'll go one further. He's not in the test team yet,
Surya.
but no. Surya Chodo, Rinku Singh.
No, but he.
No.
Yeah,
My point is,
yeah.
no one gave a monkey's behind about his Ranji Trophy numbers until he hit Yash Dayal for 5 sixes.
But yeah, exactly. I think there's a really good. Yesterday, I was listening to you on our sister channel. There was this anecdote of selectors not knowing about.
You have nothing better to do
No.
than to listen to me.
He's a fan first, no?
No, but there was this thing, a story that.
You can listen to me in the office only.
that selectors don't know about what's going on in the Ranji Trophy.
I think
No, that was previously.
No, but then that trend is being continued.
No, it's not because apparently
No,
the
now
chief
selectors
selector,
are there.
the chairman of selectors was there watching Devdutt Patikal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Now and it's changed. I remember I went to the last season when Sarfraz was playing here. There were 2 selectors there at Firozshah Kotla watching.
I remember some
That
fake
was
news
the
came out
Vijay
from there
Sara.
also. People thought he celebrated his 100 by making gestures of the
And
selector.
but that was that the Ranji Trophy? Or
Ranji,
was that
Ranji.
Yeah, Ranji. It was
That
Delhi,
was in
Mumbai.
Delhi. I thought
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was in Mumbai when he made that celebration.
Him,
Delhi
Vikrant
versus
sir and Rahul
Mumbai.
went to Mumbai. When?
No.
That was Delhi.
Acha.
No, he
Yeah,
could be
Delhi
right.
Mumbai.
There was a celebration he made in Mumbai, and he got 100 in Delhi also. He made a celebration.
That
here,
was a phenomenal season he had.
but,
Yeah.
but I don't know whether. So I remember him.
Yeah.
So I think he's right on that front. That one celebration that got him into trouble was in
Mumbai.
Mumbai,
Achha.
but he celebrated here,
Here
as well,
also.
after getting.
And he always has that very loud
Here he
celebration.
was
That triple
giving a
century,
tribute
I
to an
think.
old singer,
A deceased singer, yes, we know, Sidhu Moosewala.
Yeah. That was, I think, after he got the triple 100, I think. Triple 100, I think he got. when he-
No,
No, that was
No, 100 only.
100 only.
that's immaterial.
So, I mean, BCCI now are suddenly deciding that, oh, Ranji Trophy is very important and looking at the.
person coming under the sword is Shreyas Iyer.
And Ishan
And
Kishan.
Ishan
And
Kishan.
also, no, my point is, you've gone from one extreme to the other. First, you're like, no, don't play Ranji, doesn't matter, we'll make you a test player. Now it's like, if you want to be a T20 player also,
And-
you have to play Ranji Trophy. Where's the
shall I-
logic?
And shall I give you one
Now
more
the
diktat?
Ranji Trophy numbers will be used as per convenience.
No. Shall I give you one more diktat? Ishan Kishan played the Ranji Trophy last year, and against whom? Sanju Samson's Kerala. It was a clash. Oh, who will come
Did
into
he
the?
play?
Of course he did. Sanju Samson and Ishan
Sanju was
Kishan
still
both
playing.
hit 50s, but Ishan Kishan hit 8 sixes in the 79. Sanju Samson also hit 100, but with less sixes. So he was touted that,
Why
oh,
are you
no.
counting sixes in a Ranji Trophy?
Because he made it to the white ball. Sanju didn't make it.
No, even
but
Rishabh
that's-
Pant actually broke into
Listen,
the scene after the
Sanju
great
Samson's
Ranji Trophy.
white ball misfortunes have nothing to do with this Ranji
No,
Trophy
but
form.
Rishabh Pant actually came into the side after a really good Ranji Trophy season.
Yeah, the 300 season.
And the fastest century.
And a knock with the most number of sixes in the
But
history of Ranji Trophy.
50-50. It was that same year in which he hit that 128 in
No,
the
no, no,
IPL.
no, no, no,
Of
no.
course,
No, the 100
Sunrisers.
versus Sunrisers in Delhi, right?
Yeah.
I think it was the season after that. He made the India call up after the season, not after that 100.
So 17 and it got that 128 into the spot. When did he make his debut? 2018.
yeah.
So combined of Ranji 17-18
And
plus
IPL.
IPL 128. So that is
Didn't he make
50-50.
Didn't he make his debut before the IPL season?
I think he did.
Yeah, even
So
I
that's
think
what
he did.
17 October I'm talking about it. I'm talking about 18 IPL, 17-18 season. He made his debut in 18.
So then
In England,
You're saying
right?
Before the
August.
Ranji, you're saying before the run. No, he didn't make his debut in England. He first made his debut against England in the T20 series at home.
I'm talking about test
Test
match.
debut.
First of
Baba.
all, India debut.
Test match. I'm not talking about at that particular point in time. I'm talking about when he made his test debut. Test debut is important.
check
Right?
the other website.
Yeah. So he made his debut in
2018.
August 2018.
Down. No, here also.
No, it's there also.
Okay.
We get your
Okay.
point.
So 17 Ranji Trophy culmination was there, 17-18. But then after 18 IPL,
But see, his T20 debut came before, see?
That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, I remember it played
that
for India.
UZ Chahal 6 for 25 in Chinnaswamy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. After this, he had a great
IPL, yes.
Yeah.
He had
But
never-
that's
Any
fair.
way
That's
else
still at
is-
least a combination of factors.
Yeah.
It's not like Sky has 4 good IPLs and you say, no, go play test, my friend.
Again,
Yeah. He was called for the test after
from domestic, who came in? Hanuma Vihari. But what wrong did Hanuma Vihari
KS
do?
Bharat.
But look at what's happening.
But then, I mean, you have backed the system of bringing a guy from domestic cricket. That
There's
he
nothing
did
wrong
not
with that.
succeed. What do? You
Yeah.
could not have preempted that.
No, but when Surya Kumar Yadav and Prithvi Shaw were called mid-tour in 2018, at that time you already had a Abhimanyu Easwaran, but you did not trust him and you wanted to go with a Prithvi Shaw before Easwaran.
Eastman has not been
KL
trusted for
Rahul
years.
Actually, when KL Rahul ended up opening with Mayank Agarwal.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
Let's go. Swal.
Swal. Okay. Praneet Datta is like asking us, is a result possible in Rajkot considering it's a great batting pitch? What is Rajkot's record in domestic international as far as result is concerned? See, whenever India have played in the new SCA stadium, I mean, 16 I remember it was a draw. 18 you won against the West Indies. As far as a one-dayer is concerned against England, you lost by 9 runs in a chase of 250. So, you can get a result provided it's not like the 2016 wicket. It's not a featherbed. You can get purchase, you can get spin, it will deteriorate. And that was played in October. This has been played around March. So mostly the deterioration might increase. So I think it should be fine. Rakesh Bhushan is like asking us, why fuss on player picking and choosing matches? Even Sid and Nikhil pick and choose.
But none of us pick.
Rakesh Bhushan, this is the biggest load of horseshit that I've ever heard.
Pick and choose?
We are here every single day. I don't think you watch our channel enough. We were even here overnight for an India-West Indies test series. All of us.
And remember, we're professionals also, no? Professionals get days off.
No, but even then we don't pick and choose. So the whole statement is wrong.
Yeah,
Nobody picks and chooses.
I mean, you just
It's
have
not that we have decided that I have decided I will not do this series, but I will come for this. I will sit for T20 World Cup. I will not. That's why I said he
We
has
don't
no
do
idea.
workload management.
He has no idea what he's saying.
Rakesh Bhushan, check out our World Cup.
It's not even
workload
worth.
management.
We don't do workload management.
No, we don't do it. You're actually saying a wrong thing by saying, when have we done workload management? Have we done it ever?
Never.
So then, where does the workload management come? Have we ever skipped a series because it's with the lesser team?
No, we
For
would
which,
win
so-
live for Ireland series, West
So-
Indies, tests.
So
Test Indies.
it's the biggest amount of false information. The whole basis of his argument is wrong.
Tanmay Joshi, I will give you a scenario. If Iyer has a great IPL and performs great in ODI as he does, will selectors not take him for a test with already some experience? So no Ranji.
Quite possible.
That
Quite
is going to
possible. Then that will be a real test of their diktat of no, go play Ranji Trophy all you want.
Exactly.
You are awakening.
Then dropping him right now would be unfair.
Oh,
In
again,
the
this is-
BCCI, the left hand doesn't know the right
Yeah.
hand is doing.
Yeah.
They have no idea whatever is doing. One thing is said now, the other thing changes. Sometime you know that this is your future T20 team, this is your captain, then your team becomes different. Sometime you're going with youngsters, sometime you're calling back experience. You do not know, and things change. It just depends on what
And
situation you find yourself.
You have to pan the BCCI for this simple reason. You're waking up and giving a Ranji Trophy diktat when 70% of the season is over.
Arey, 80%.
But my point is, why do you have to give a diktat?
Exactly.
You have to spread the news through media. We will do it. Let them know. You pick up the phone and tell me which player will tell I will not go and do it.
No, I think
If a BCCI president or a secretary called up one person, you better play that match or you're not there. Tell me which player will not. You have to be so scared that you have to, like, it has to come through media and akhbar mein. Hopefully they will get the message.
You're cracking a whip,
Exactly.
but you're standing behind a comfortably closed cell. So there is no threat.
Yeah.
It isn't. Yep. Chaitanya Bagga is saying, India hesitate to prepare spinners friendly pitches. What's your opinion about England approach? Or players not confident on spin tracks? Include young player who played spin well and gave long rope, came back.
No, I think this is what a spinning track is, what he, Chaitanya is mentioning too. I think it's about a rank turner and them not having confidence of batting on a rank turner. I think that even in Ranji Trophy we don't get the rank turner. So any batsman, however much spin you know how to play on rank turner, nobody would be comfortable. So
I
I think
mean,
that's
if you look at it, KS Bharat, I mean, he played 4 out of the 7 tests that he's played
On rank turners.
on rank turners.
And also, no, I think one of the other reasons why they've chosen to step away from rank turners, and it's not just down to, your batters. It's also down to the fact that, and this is just my theory, I could be wrong here, but even before the series, I was constantly saying, listen, Bazball at its most extreme is a lottery.
Yeah.
A rank turner is a lottery. Put 2 and 2 together, sometimes that approach might pay off, it might come back to bite you.
Yep.
So you would rather go for a sporting pitch where you trust the skill of your bowlers and your batters who have played in familiar conditions to win the test series, even against a team that is admittedly a very formidable test team.
Absolutely.
Dhairya says Rohit Sharma's form after that 120 versus Australia is very poor. Will he finally score a century? By the way, I think we've said it earlier. It's a very important series for Rohit Sharma, the test player and captain. I think both of them are interlinked. He wouldn't want to be that captain under whose captaincy India lose a test series at home after such a long gap.
Yep.
You wouldn't want that. If that is to happen, you know that the knives will be out and his form with the bat not being great is not going to help his cause overall. But I still feel that there's plenty left in this series. He's still one of your better batsmen in Test cricket, as the record in the last few years suggests. So there's no reason that you don't see him get a lot of runs. You could also consider the fact that he does not have the most experienced team. The team is going through a transition as he is having to captain the team. You can look at it, but I don't think 5 years down the line anyone is going to be seeing that it was a transition, you were giving debuts. People just see the captain and what is the result and under whose captaincy you won and lost. So very important series for Rohit Sharma, the batter and captain, and as I said, both these roles that he is playing at the moment are interlinked in that sense.
And I think if India goes on to do really well in the series, then people would definitely remember that this was a transition phase and where Rohit Sharma actually took the team over the line.
Yeah,
correct.
It will.
Okay, final question. Vishak is saying, if England are batting first, are we going to see 500 on day one?
Could happen.
No.
480 I could see, not 500.
But if they reach 480, Baba, they're pushing 500.
370 at max. 370.
370?
No, on this pitch, I will back them to get 400.
I'm saying
Easily.
4 per over.
It's like
450.
I'm looking at 4 per
Now
over.
he's come back to
of this wicket.
450. Look at this.
450.
Thali ka Bengal.
he could go with whatever, but if when he starts at no, I don't see them 500, then I'm not giving them a chance of more than 400 runs. Then I would understand. No, I don't see them 500. I said, it's going to be 480.
480. I'm saying at this rate, Indian conditions, looking at the way how they have played, 4 per over, 360, 370.
400 they can get. 500 will be a possibility, not a probability.
And by the way, no matter how good a pitch, if there's a Jasprit Bumrah firing, if Siraj can turn up with his form, and Ashwin, Kuldeep, Jadeja on top of their game, getting wickets or not getting wickets is one thing. To score that quickly against them is not easy, as Kuldeep Yadav showed you. Picked up only, I think, 1 wicket in the second innings of the last Test match, where the pitch was very good to bat on, yet you could not get him away for runs. So it's not going to be easy, sir. Ye halwa nahi hai, you just come and it's lying there.
You're not Pakistan.
Exactly.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, and it's not a Rawalpindi road. It's a Rajkot.
Karachi road.
Yeah, it's just a Rajkot pitch. In India, we produce pitches. We don't produce roads.
For the most part.
Okay, bye.
Yep.
There is a game tomorrow, and while we've discussed enough of the Test match, we will be live tomorrow as well, 45 minutes before. Then also we have to answer a lot of questions and talk about a lot of things. So we'll save something for tomorrow. Okay.
Exactly.
What time is the first ball?
9:30.
So
9 o'clock is the
8:45.
toss. 8:45 we go live.
8:45 we are live. 15 minutes building up to the game. By the time we'll know.
India's playing 11.
Yeah, cap would have been handed.
Yeah.
Two
So
caps are coming.
You will know. So look forward to your company then.
Yep.
And promises
Test
to be an
matches are back.
exciting
Yep.
series and an exciting Test match. So see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Take care. Bye.
Nandri.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Basant Panchami. What are your plans, Shashwat?
No plans.
You'll full night you'll think about cricket.
No, I have to come back na, so in the morning, so I'll sleep.
No Valentine's Day. At your age, I would. No Valentine's Day.
No
plan.
extra classes for them.
This is my Valentine's Day, na? That's what
I like that. Siddhartha is wearing red also.
And yellow. Both.
Basant Panchami
Basant Panchami.
and Valentine.
2 in 1.
Yep.
Well
Chalo.
done.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye. Take care.
Nandri, Manakam,
Vanakkam.
Shabba Khair, Shubhratri.
Don't trouble your mother, eat your vegetables.